Da-da! Oh, hey, I've been practicing my superhero introduction. I've been inspired by Dr. Robertson at UMMC. He has been making low-cost ventilators. Let's hear more from Dr. Robertson.
I'm Susan Gerard, and I'm the CEO of the Mississippi Children's Museum. And thank you for joining us for our quest for innovation. And I'm really honored that Dr. Charles Robertson with the University of Mississippi Medical Center is here today as our guest to tell us about innovation and his innovation. So, Dr. Robertson, tell us what you do.
Hello, Susan. Thanks for having me here. Well, I'm a pediatric anesthesiologist. I work at the Madison Children's Hospital here in Jackson. So what a pediatric anesthesiologist is, someone who takes care of kids who need to have surgery and go to sleep. So if somebody has broken a bone or needs their appendix out, I'm the one that gives medicine to kids so they can be asleep, get all fixed up, and back to school and back to play.
Very important.
I love doing it. It's a good thing to do.
Well, tell us what you were doing when COVID-19 came to Mississippi in March of 2020. What were your first thoughts about how to prepare?
Well, normally I stay busy, like I said, helping kids go to sleep and wake up after surgery. But one of the things that I do with that is work a lot of times with machines called ventilators. And the medicine that helps you go to sleep, helps you be comfortable having the surgery, sometimes makes people forget to breathe. So I have machines that I work with all the time that help kids breathe during surgery. And it looked like there might not be enough ventilators if everybody got sick all at once from COVID. And ventilators normally are very complex machines, and it takes a while to make them, and they're expensive. It's hard to all of a sudden get an extra 50 or 100 ventilators. So I started thinking, what could I do to make a ventilator that we could use for a little while the factories were able to make more of the big ones. And a ventilator is really a pretty simple machine. The lungs are kind of like a balloon. Breathe air in, the balloon fills up. You let the balloon go, the air goes out. So you need a machine that can blow up a balloon and let it go. So I started thinking, how can I do that? How can I make it with either stuff we already have at the hospital or stuff that's easy to find? I ordered a few things from Amazon, started tinkering, and eventually I made something that worked as a ventilator.
Have you always loved to tinker when you were a child? Did you enjoy tinkering and building?
Yeah. No, I loved taking things apart, building things with Legos. Occasionally tinkered a little bit too much. At one point, I tried to make a battery-powered bottle rocket launcher and blew a hole in my ceiling, which...
Children, don't try that at home.
Yes. No fireworks in the house.
What kind of challenges when you were building that you had to kind of overcome?
It was a lot of trial and error because I had some parts that we had commonly at the hospital, and those would hook to the sources of oxygen, the sources of air we use to help people breathe. And then I needed to connect those to the parts I had, sort of the brain of the machine that I bought from Amazon, which would allow it to sort of turn on the air on and off. And so I had to search around Home Depot and Lowe's looking for connectors that would fit the right way. It was, and none of these pieces were complicated or expensive, but I just needed to find things that would fit together so that when you're trying to blow up a balloon, the air would go into the balloon and not leak out.
We had very successful camp and safe camp all summer. And we interviewed some of our children, and also children who've been submitting online their innovations and things that they would like to invent and see done. And Mason submitted an idea to us about a robot that could build the antidote for the virus. Do you think robots will help us solve big problems like a virus?
Robots can be a really big help. Robots are great at doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. So one of our problems with coronavirus is that we might need thousands or tens of thousands of people to get tests. And that's a great job for a robot to do a test one time, to do a test two times. It can work all night long and do 5,000 tests. And somebody else, the people who are thinking about how to build the robots and how to program the robots need to sleep at night.
Exactly. what have you seen other people doing to innovate during this time?
Well, a lot of people have come up with interesting ways to use scuba gear that people use to swim underwater, where you need masks to seal around your face. And so if you're working in an environment where there might be virus around and you want to filter the air you breathe, those scuba masks can be used. They've even used those as ventilators for patients.
Wow.
They put a mask on, they don't need a tube that
Yeah.
goes down in their lungs. They can just connect the ventilator to the mask, and so that'll help them breathe. Lots of people solving problems with the equipment they have available to them.
I never thought about that, but a scuba mask actually would be like a really,
It makes sense.
it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It really does.
Well, it's been such an honor today to welcome Dr. Robertson to tell us about his innovation, and we were really excited to get to hear about all of the great things that UNMC has been doing and that Dr. Robertson has been doing, and we want to thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciated the invitation.